the Quick Cash Playbook. Now, this is a playbook I've created for the 3 strategies that I would use to add $5,000 this week. These strategies are best used with warm audiences, i.e. people you could call on or old clients who really loved what you did. If you don't have a warm audience, then these strategies may not work as well for you. The first strategy, re-offering past clients, number 1. Number 2 is upgrading your current clients. And number 3 is extending your current clients. Really, really important to remember that when we opt for quick cash now, we are also therefore sacrificing more cash later. One of the most effective ways to get $5,000 into your business this week. Hey coach, Xenia Wood here, and this is the Swift Coaches Academy podcast, created for service-based business owners who are ambitious enough to break free from the forever hustle and create scalable businesses that truly make an impact while also giving us freedom. With more than a decade of experience, we're not here to waste your time on theory. Instead, just sharing what works and what doesn't to help you get clear as fuck on your next move and show you exactly how to implement the systems and strategies that you need to scale with confidence. Okay, so before we dive in, I have to tell you a secret. My boyfriend's in the other room as we speak, and he can't hear me, hopefully. And I have our 3rd anniversary coming up in 2 days. So by the time that this gets released, it will have happened. But right now, I hope you can't hear me. It's 2 days until our anniversary. The reason that I bring that up is because I was umming and ahhing over doing what I'm going to do for our anniversary for a little while. And what I'm doing is I am taking us to New Zealand to be in the snow, and there's a snow music festival called Snow Machine. So I am paying for flights, accommodation, the tickets, everything. And the reason that I am doing that is because experiences are far more important to me than something physically tangible, I don't know, like a pair of pants or whatever. So, and the other thing is that if I didn't have the business that I have, where I have time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom, then there's no way I'd be able to drop thousands of dollars on taking us both to a ski trip. And I know how excited that he is going to be by this. And I also know that that fills my cup up, because there's nothing more that I love than having experiences with people in my life. And I say this not to, I guess, brag, if maybe you're thinking that, but it's really that I want to help other coaches to be able to do the same. Because I remember when I was living in an 8-person share house and had no air conditioning in summer, sunny Brisbane, and couldn't afford anything other than groceries from the markets. And I remember when I didn't have much money to my name. And I remember when my mum used to check the price of strawberries to see whether we could buy them that week or not. And so for me to have not only worked through all my money stories and things like that, to be in a position where, I feel comfortable to spend this money, but to be in a position where I have the money to just drop that up front and do that for the person that I love more than anyone is such a special thing. And so I guess that sort of blends in today's theme of our episode, which is called the Quick Cash Playbook. Now, this is a playbook I've created, and there are other strategies that are a little slower, but I wanted to talk today specifically to the 3 strategies that I would use to add $5,000 this week, so you can come join us in New Zealand. So the first thing to do, I want a few little caveats before we get into the 3 strategies to add $5,000 this week to your business. First thing is that I want you to reflect if maybe last month wasn't as good as you expected, or maybe it was good and you want to continue that momentum. Or maybe you are just listening to this episode being like, I want to know what a multi-6-figure business owner who has 2 coaching businesses does to just adds $5K to her business like that. And I did this in the last 2 days alone, not the last 7 days, but the last 2 days I did this in my business as well. So this stuff works. I do it all the time. And some of these strategies that I am going to talk about, really, really important to remember that when we opt for quick cash now, we are also therefore sacrificing like more cash later, often with some of these strategies. So it's really important to understand the drawbacks and the negatives to quick cash plays. And I also understand that some people are like, I just need some cash now. My cash flow is not great. And if that is you, then these are the strategies for you. However, if you are like week on week on week on week on week all the time, really struggling with cash, you cannot continue to use these quick cash strategies because they will burn out and they are not strategies that we use for longevity. They're strategies that we use sparingly. Okay. They work and they work really well, but you've got to make sure that you aren't using them all the time in some of these instances. Okay. Um, the reason I say that is because after coaching 279 coaches one-on-one now and thousands in groups, I've seen firsthand what works and what doesn't. And I've trial and errored it myself and with my students. And so this is a really solid structure of what's going to support you to add that $5,000. The other thing to note is that these strategies are going to be primarily for our experienced, established coaches who have full client lists or who have, client like databases and things like that as well that they can draw on, or lots of followers online, things like that. Okay. So these strategies are best used with warm audiences. If you don't have a warm audience, i.e., lots of people who are like engaging with you on social media, or people who and clients who you see every week, or people you could call on, or old clients who really loved what you did, then these strategies may not work as well for you. Okay. So just reading my notes. The other thing that I sort of align this quick cash now to less cash later to is cashing in what I call your Goodwill chips. So Goodwill is, I mean, it's a business term that is how much like branding effectively and like exposure and how good your business is. It's a really intangible asset, but in the sense that I'm talking about today, that's not what I mean. Goodwill is when you charge less than the value that people get. And so if I charge $2,000 for something that is clearly valued at $10,000, then I have, it's not $8,000 worth of goodwill. I mean, it is, but like you have far more goodwill than you have drawn out in terms of like pulled money out of your like goodwill jar, shall we say. So the more you ask for money and the more withdrawals you make from your goodwill jar, the emptier it gets. So it's really, really important that when you're thinking of these strategies, you make sure that some of them are used sparingly, because if you pull out all your goodwill chips, you have nothing less to pull from, and then you can't use this strategy again. Okay. So, and it can be with different people, but you can't use them with the same people over and over again, or continue to sort of like blast this on socials and things like that. So the other thing that I wrote here is often these strategies are not new. They're not revolutionary, but it's often the shitty bits that people don't want to do. And because you're listening to this, I know that you aren't most people. You go above and beyond. And so you're obviously willing to do what it takes to create the life that you want, the business that you want, the time, location, and financial freedom that you want. So you're in the right place with good company. It does feel hard and it will pay off. Okay. I did this, like I said, in 2 days. The first strategy is re-offering past clients. This means go back and contact every single one of your clients in your database, all your old clients and potentially your current clients. So you can do this with an exclusive re-sign offer. So that could mean if they rejoin you, they get bonuses. It could be adding in like a slight discount or something, depending on what you're offering, but making sure that's obviously not cutting into your profits. But re-offering past clients, most of us have databases or have phone numbers in wherever you're storing those of our past clients that we can just we have great relationships with, and we could say like, hey, how are you going? How is this? I did this actually during COVID. I just walked up and down the streets in my suburb and I just called all my clients and all my past clients. And I was just like, hey, it's tough. how are you going? And I wasn't there for a sale. I was there to truly support, add value, and see if I could do anything. And if there was a sale to be made or some support to be had, then sure, yes, I was going to offer that. But that was not my intention. So you can re-offer past clients. The importance is you want it to be an exclusive re-sign. So hey, and using a because can be really helpful because saying because it can be really helpful because there has been research that shows that when you use because and you give a justification or a reason for something, people are more likely to believe it or take you up. For example, I had a student recently who was doing a Facebook ads campaign, and he was doing like I think it was either a free or a 10-day trial for 7 days in his recovery facility. And I said, you need to add like the reason why, like because it's under new management, because he just bought the business, or, because it's our birthday, or because, like it's my dog's birthday. Like really the reason doesn't matter. They did some studies on this with a photocopy machine. And if the reason was, hey, can I like jump to the front of the line because I need to make photocopies? People were 93%, had a 93% chance of someone saying yes. If they just said, hey, can I jump in front of you in the line? It was like maybe a 64% chance. So you're still going to have a good chance. But even saying because and the reason being like something that doesn't make sense, like I need to make photocopies, you're like, yeah, we all do. We're in the line for photocopying. It increases the likelihood people will understand it or say yes to you. So adding a because is really important with these specific exclusive re-offers. Why are you doing it? Yeah. Can be your dog's birthday, can be whatever you want. Number 2 is upgrading your current clients. I know so many people who don't do this. It's like their clients are seeing them once a week, once a fortnight, whatever it is. Like, could they be seeing you twice a week or 3 times a week? Or could you, add something that's a bonus addition that they're paying for so that they're getting an even better deal? We've done this with our clients by adding in nutrition services that we actually don't offer, but we've partnered with someone who does. And so like, hey, do you want nutrition with that? It's kind of like, do you want fries with that from McDonald's? And you don't have to do this at the start of the client journey. You can do it whenever. And you can say, hey, we're now offering this. Would you like to add this as well? Or hey, like for the next 2 months, I've actually got, some clients away on holidays and I've got, Thursday mornings free. I know that, would you like additional training? And maybe you could provide a discount for those 2 months for them to do that, to take that spot. So you're not holding it for someone for 2 months who's maybe, skiing over in New Zealand. So upgrading current clients can be great. It can be your current service, just more of it, or it can be a different or an additional service. But how can you upgrade them, give them an enhanced experience? This could be something like, instead of, let's say you're a personal trainer and you're doing coaching sessions and you're already doing 3 sessions a week with this person, they're typically going to be the people who are going to want more from you. So could you add a challenge, and could you also do have nutrition, or could you have take photographs and do more accountability style stuff, or have more habit tracking, or provide meal plans, or whatever it is, keeping within your scope, or partnering with someone who does those things if it's outside of your scope of practice as well. That can be a great way, because your clients who already pay you are going to be the best people to want to pay you again and pay you more. Okay. Third one is extend our current clients. So ask our current clients if any of them want to pay upfront to commit to an extended time frame. So let's say that they're on a 12-week commitment right now. You say, hey, I know that week 10 of your 12-week commitment, I've actually got this offer going right now for anyone who commits to working with me for another 6 months, where if you pay upfront, you get 5 or 10% discount, right? If you get 2 clients, maybe 3 clients who say yes to that, you'll make $5,000. Easy. Like it doesn't take much. It just takes you having the conversation that might feel a little bit hard or stretchy for you to go and do that. Particularly the one where we're re-offering past clients, calling them up and seeing how they are might feel a little hard, awkward. You might be like, oh, I want to text them instead. I promise you, phone calls work so much better. Obviously, if they don't answer, you can text or you can send a voicemail or whatever, but getting people on the phone is going to give you the best opportunity to be able to actually have a conversation with them, rather than something that feels transactional and it's a little jolted in terms of the response times and things like that. So To reinforce, 3 strategies to add 5 grand in the next 6 weeks to your business are reoffering past clients, number 1. Number 2 is upgrading your current clients. And number 3 is extending your current clients. Cool. So this all requires you to have a current client database and potentially a past client database. It's going to be better for the experienced or established coaches. And you might listen to this and be like, Xenia, but that's so simple and that's so easy. And to you, I would say, yes, it is. And yet, have you done it already? Because maybe you just haven't thought of it, or you haven't put time aside to do it, or you haven't committed to it. And you're like, oh, cool idea. I could definitely do that. But like, if you need quick cash, some of these strategies are great, right? And the reason I say, and caveated at the start in terms of like more cash now equals less cash later, because obviously if you're doing upfront, you're getting less, you're getting less total, but more right now. So again, you have to be strategic with this. Is this an option that's going to work best for you? But some of these strategies, you don't have to give discounts or things like that. You can just offer more value. Okay. And yes, that can be leaning into cashing out some of your Goodwill chips, but it can also be a great way to add value. Some people are allowed to say no. Shock horror. You can have clients who are like, hey, we've got this additional session a week, or this new program, or this new download, whatever. Would you like to hear more about it? Or would you be interested in joining, or whatever? Some people will say no. That's okay. But if you do this with all of your current clients and all of your past clients, I promise you that this is going to be one of the most effective ways to get $5,000 into your business this week. So, if you're thinking, yeah, cool, pretty easy. The thing is, less than 10% of people are going to take action. That's just the stats. And of those 10%, most of you who do it will probably get stuck with the offer part of this, because the magic is in the doing and the offer. So first, you've got to actually commit to doing this instead of going, oh, that was a cool podcast episode that I just listened to. Actually, go and write it down, figure it out, put your offer in place, right? And so you obviously want to make it so damn good that your clients feel silly saying no. But to be honest, this stuff takes time refining, iterating, getting feedback from either your mentors, your coaches, or your current clients as to what they want. The other thing that I want you to consider is, when I said any of those 3 strategies, did you ever think to yourself, oh, that feels a little stretchy for me. I don't really want to do that. No, thanks. That's not going to work for me. Like, I'll do part of it, but not the other part, or I'll call all the clients, but not those ones. Those are completely normal thoughts, firstly. But the problem is, normal doesn't get abnormal results. Normal gets normal results. And most normal businesses tend to fail. The stats are not in our favor. Yeah. So if you want normal results, do normal things. Most people normally will listen to podcasts, maybe not, but they won't take action. If you want abnormal results, if you want to get an incredible offer, if you want to put it out in front of people, yes, you have to do the thing, but you have to do it well. And so after more than a decade in business, I've seen more businesses fail than succeed. And I'm still here 10 years later. So if you want help with the strategy, with the systems, with the offer, with the accountability and the support, then I want to invite you to our Biz Academy program. It is open for inquiries. We take anyone from people who are in their 0 to 100K, so their first 6-figure year, taking them from 0 to 100K. And then we also help people who are at 100 plus K to scale to multi-6 figures up to 7 figures. So if that feels like something that you would like to discuss, would like to learn more about, the link is in the show notes, and you can have a look about what that looks like below. I encourage you, regardless of what you do at the end of today, please take some sort of action forward in your business. Otherwise, why did you bother listening to a podcast that just made you feel good in the moment, but didn't actually help you move forward in your business? If you're listening to this episode in particular, you want quick cash in your business, let me help you implement it if you are feeling stuck at any point. Until next time, move swiftly. Hey, coach, before you go, The reason I do this every single week and the reason we've been able to surpass 100 episodes is because of you. So thank you. We're on a mission towards never seeing another coach leave the industry because they didn't have the skills or the confidence to scale. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that before you forget. I read every single one of the comments and share as many as I can. So if you found this episode valuable, sharing it with a friend who might be able to benefit from hearing it would honestly mean so much to me. Until next time, and in whatever you do, move swiftly.